Hey everybody, my name is Mike. I am not for Coltrane. Welcome to your Coltrane Tuesdays for this, the 20th day of February in the year 2024 of the Common Era, so called because that is the date system that most of us these days happen to use. Hi. Hope things are working okay from a technical standpoint. There was a very minor, I hope, snafu that I seem to have resolved here at the very last moment, but I think everything is working. It looks like the video is going out. It looks like the audio is going out, but as always, I am grateful for anyone who can let me know if in fact that is what's happening. It looks, oh hey, thank you very much, Beth, for indicating that she is able to see and hear what is going on. Also, apologies to Beth because this is not Beth's favorite shirt and tie combination, but it is what was clean, so it's what we're doing. So, of course, in a little bit, we will be playing the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. I should, here up at the top of the show, mention how that will work, and also say that today we will be doing a Paul Simon song, The Sound of Silence. This was something that popped into my head a little bit ago. I said, hey, this is something that I should absolutely do. I'm not thrilled about this, but the fact is that some of my song selections are based on, oh, hey, this would be an easy one to make a thumbnail for. So that's part of what got us here today. But also, it was I haven't played this song in a long time, and one of the last times I did play it was a rather memorable fail at an open mic several years ago now. So I will tell, it's not that much of a story, but I will explain those circumstances, and talk a little bit about some things about the song that I learned while researching a little bit more about it, and about Paul Simon and Simon and Garfunkel and all of those things. But first I should mention how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. The way we, like the tie better with the dark red. This is the dark red shirt. This is the dark red shirt. I wore it with a tan or brown shirt before that she didn't like. Okay, well, fair enough. Well, I'm glad that this particular combination is an improvement over the other shirt and tie combination that involved this particular tie. In any case, the way we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game is people who are live online with us, ideally, will be able to chime in with comments, ideas, thoughts, suggestions, requests, if you will, of a song that I should have to play here on the webcast, and then I will have to play a song in response to that request, regardless of whether I know the song that was requested. So someone might request a song that I know or know relatively well, in which case I will then go here, I'll be here, and I'll play it to the best of my recollection. Or someone might request a song that I kind of sort of know, like something like this. Like maybe I played it quite a few years ago, but don't remember exactly how it goes, or I've heard it a bunch of times on a streaming service, or online, or whatever, or on the radio. In which case I will have to attempt to figure out how to perform that song here in front of everyone. Perhaps the song that's requested will be one that I have no idea how it goes. At least I don't recognize the title of it as requested, and therefore I will have to make up a brand new song right here on the spot with the same name as the song that was requested, thereby technically satisfying the requirement. That is how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. I'm sorry, I was distracted by Mark's remark that the Coltrane now runs on electric. Yes, very good. It's better for the environment that way. Probably. Oh, hi, Margot. Margot is running on NFC time today. I'm not sure what that means, but great. And, yes. All right, so I think that means everyone's late. It just occurred to me that's probably what that means. But thank you for joining us, Margot. Thank you for joining us, Beth. Thank you for joining us, Mark. And thanks to everyone else who might happen to be out there on the interwebs, whether you are able to comment or not. It looks like things are live on both the Facebook and on YouTube. That's great. I'm always grateful to anyone who's able to hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the share button, let other folks know about what's going on here. But for now, Paul Simon, Sound of Silence. yes, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. Turned my collar to the cold and damp, but my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light. Split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach out to you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning, the words that it was for me. The sign said the words of the prophets written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered the sound of silence. Not terrible, all things considered. The Sound of Silence by Paul Simon. Also rather a edition, part of the Simon and Garfunkel oeuvre, as you might say. So my particular history with that song was realizing, oh hey, that's a cool song. I should learn how to play it. And I was like, yes, I absolutely can do the emotive bits of it, and the guitar part I have under control. Then I got to do it at the open mic. Foolishly did not have lyrics with me, and I didn't know it quite well enough to be able to make my way through, which was less than ideal. And I hadn't really picked it up very much since then. But I was like, yes, you know what, that's something I should do, as well as it will be very easy to make a thumbnail for, because it will just be dark rather than me having to find additional images to try to make that particular thumbnail. So there you go. But there is of course a lot more to the story of the song than that. It is obviously one of Paul Simon's signature songs, and really has been for a very, 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 very long time. The song was written when he was about 21, if I remember correctly, in his bathroom with the lights off. He wrote in an interview with Playboy magazine in the 80s. Yes, this was in 84, I believe. Tom, or not Tom, in an interview with Tony Schwartz, Paul Simon said, "The main thing about playing the guitar, though, was that I was able to sit by myself and play and dream. And I was always happy doing that. I used to go off in the bathroom because the bathroom had tiles, so it was a slight echo chamber. I'd turn on the faucet so that water would run. I like that sound, it's very soothing to me. And I'd play in the dark. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again." The how it all came together. So Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel grew up like 3 blocks from each other, had been going to the same schools since they were quite small. Art and his talent for singing attracted Paul's attention when Art was in a 4th grade talent show. And Paul Simon's like, "Oh, hey, maybe if I could get to sing like that, we could get girls." Hey, it's it's been a motivating factor for a lot of artists over the years. The two of them were hanging out together in middle school and in high school. They were performing as a duo and then independently and then back as a duo. They've been harmonizing since middle school as part of a group that they were with. And there were lots and lots of stage names that they used individually and together over the years. They were signed at age 15 to an independent record label, and one of the more successful stage names they used was Tom and Jerry. I imagine there was a cease and desist at some point saying, "No, we can't do that." But by the time they got to a little bit older, they're reconnecting a little bit and off and on doing stuff. They record a couple of songs, a couple originals, a couple folk classics. It ends up as a record that goes out called Wednesday Morning 3 a.m. in 1964. At that point, Paul is adamant that they're done with the stage names and they're going to use their actual names. So it is Simon and Garfunkel at that point. And then they go off and continue to do their own thing because that record is not really that big of a smash. But what happens in... oh yes, also there's this wonderful anecdote. So a lot of the information on Wikipedia happens to be from a book by a guy named Mark Elliott, came out in 2010, called Paul Simon: A Life. And so one of the remarks from that was that Dave Van Ronk, who was a folk singer, and at this point they're hanging around in the Greenwich Village section of New York City. The folk scene is burgeoning. You've got folks like Mary Travers and all the guys from Peter, Paul, and Mary and Bob Dylan, and all that sort of stuff is percolating and is happening, and people are getting interested. Dave Van Ronk, another one of the folk singers from around that time, who has went on to play Godfrey Daniels and other cool places like that. For the Paul Simon: A Life, Dave Van Ronk was recorded as saying that I think folks understood that there's something cool with these guys, with what they do with their harmonies and whatnot in the presentation, but they also kind of zeroed in on the lyrics for Sound of Silence as being not particularly profound. Dave Van Ronk said that Sound of Silence actually became a running joke. For a while there, it was only necessary to start singing "Hello Darkness, my old friend," and everybody would crack up. And I kind of see that. It has a bit of the it has kind of that adolescent sensibility to the song. You can see why adolescents and teenagers and college kids in the mid 1960s really eventually connected with it. It trades on this idea, first off, of isolation, but also, wake up, sheeple. I'm the only one who sees what's actually going on here. Why are you blindly following everything that's out there and just receiving things and elevating things to worshipful status that definitely don't deserve that, which is something that we all do, but also is very much a common feeling among adolescents in general, which I can say as the parent of adolescents, and having been one myself, of course. So in any case, a DJ starts playing this song in the middle of the night in the Boston area, and it starts picking up with college students who are really gravitating to this song and this message of alienation and how can you people not be waking up to what's really going on here. And it from there it spreads down the East Coast, and the producer who had been working with Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel says, "Oh hey, we've got to do something with this. We've got to this could go. This could really go." And drafting on the success of things like Mr. Tambourine Man from the Byrds, he's like, yes, we're going to take some of the players from the session who have been just here with me recording Like a Rolling Stone for Bob Dylan. We're going to do a folk rock version of this that's going to electrify it, and it's going to get it even bigger, and it's going to go up the charts. And so the individuals recruited for that: guitarist Al Gorgoni, drummer Bobby Gregg, guitarist Vinnie Bell, who also worked with the Wrecking Crew, and bassist Bob Bushnell. Let's see, Bobby, that was Al Gorgoni, and Bobby Gregg had been recording for the Like a Rolling Stone sessions for Bob Dylan. They come together, and without talking to Paul or Art, because they weren't currently a duo at that moment, I believe Paul was over in Europe, they're like, we're just going to add electric guitars and a rhythm section and stuff over top of what their recording was. Which was not easy, because it definitely had not been recorded with a metronome or a click track, and it was had a very fluid sense of time, which caused some challenges. But this electrified version goes out. It becomes a hit. It absolutely goes up the charts. Paul, like I said, is in Europe. He happens to open up the Billboard magazine and sees "Sound of Silence" #1. When he does eventually hear the recording, he's horrified by how it has come together, and how the rhythm section has to work with the fluid sense of time from the recording that they had. Art is like, hey, this is part of what goes into making a hit record these days, so it's all right. But there you go, and it becomes the first really big hit for Simon and Garfunkel, and things go on from there. In terms of the lyrics, I'll mention this too, some quotes that I had pulled up from the note here. Garfunkel, introducing the song in a live performance with Paul Simon in Harlem in 1966, describes the meaning of the song as the inability of people to communicate with each other, and not particularly intentionally, but especially emotionally. So that what you see around you is people who are unable to love each other. Sure, the idea that we're seeking this connection and struggling to do that absolutely does make sense. Let's see. Let's see. There's all sorts of interesting stuff going on in the comments. I believe the gist of it, glancing at it quickly, was that Beth had to miss it because she had to hop on a call, which is unfortunate. And also we can play it again later. We'll make it work. Paul Simon, again in the Paul Simon: A Life from the book from 2010. He tells Mark Elliott, "I had come back to New York, and I was staying in my old room at my parents' house. Artie was living in his parents' house too. I remember Artie and I were sitting there in my car one night, parked on a street in Queens, and the announcer said, 1, Simon and Garfunkel.' And Artie said to me, 'That's Simon and Garfunkel. They must be having a great time.' Because there we were, on a street corner, in my car in Queens, smoking a joint. We didn't know what to do with ourselves." Which really does sound like Paul Simon, the sort of self-effacing view of that. The other really, really famous version of that was by the hard rock or heavy metal band Disturbed, which came out not terribly long ago, although compared to 1964, not terribly long ago, but quite a ways ago by now. In April of 2016, Paul Simon made some positive comments about it. Apparently reached out to the guys at Disturbed, sending an email in April saying that he had seen their rendition on Conan O'Brien's talk show and said, really powerful performance on Conan the other day. First time I'd seen you do it live. Nice, thanks. So there you go. Paul Simon being a stand-up guy about Disturbed's cover of Sound of Silence. When I did look up some live performances, the way Paul Simon does it these days. Well, first off, so Art Garfunkel did the lead vocal on the Simon and Garfunkel recording, and it is really a nice showcase for Art Garfunkel, who really was a tremendous singer, is a tremendous singer. Of course, these days, Paul Simon, or for the past 10, probably 20 years, Paul has been playing it with solo, just himself with a guitar. He tacks on a little bit of an intro, and again, sort of very fluid sense of time. So I did not feel beholden to make sure this is everything regimented and the words need to line up exactly right. We can sort of stretch and let things flow as needed to make it work for the Sound of Silence. And I think that's about everything that I was going to say about that. But if you have other things related to this particular song or other things about it, Mark has been chiming in with lots of interesting and wonderful things in the chat recently, these past several weeks. So if anyone else has other things to contribute, by all means, please let me know. I will look at the chat in greater detail, but I will also say that we have reached the point where it is time to do the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. In case you missed the top of the show, again, here is how that is going to work. People, ideally, who are live online with us, will give me a song request, a song suggestion, and I will have to respond to it in some manner. People might request a song that I know, in which case I'll try to remember how to play it. People might request a song that I kind of sort of know, like I've heard it a bunch of times or seen other people do it open mics, in which case I will attempt to figure out how to play it. People might request a song I don't know at all. At least I don't recognize it as it's titled, in which case I will have to make up a brand new song right here on the spot with the same name as the song that was requested, thereby technically satisfying the requirement. That is how we play the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. Let's see what has been going on. Let's see. Someday Mark will maybe come up with a song that I could smack the guitar to. Beth missed it. How far did? With that, I only know he played it because of Marco's comment. Okay, so yes, now is a great time to get in your requests for the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game. I do have things set up for the looper. I do have things set up for some of the other things that might come into play that might be useful to have when performing a song. So we'll see. Mark knows little to no facts about Simon and Garfunkel. No, now you know a few more. They met in elementary school. I don't think I mentioned this. The first time they actually met, so Art's singing caught Paul's attention when Art was performing in the 4th grade talent show. Apparently they met while doing the school play and or school musical in 6th grade. So there you go. I should probably stop and tune. I also appreciate that the original version of Sound of Silence was much higher, so it would have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe the original version is like up here. Sounds about right. And then Paul started playing it more like here. And then he started playing it more like here, and these days, he is playing it down here. Which is where I played it today, because I thought that would make sense with my vocal range. So it is nice to know I'm not the only one who finds himself moving stuff around to make it easier to sing, including my own songs. Oh, hey, you know what? The other thing I should do while I am tuning here and we're waiting for some requests that might come in for the Not for Coltrane Stump the Band game, we are nearing the end of the Leap Back In series, which I've been doing in honor of Leap Day here in February 2024. Saying, what are we going to do for March? Well, of course, it makes sense. The focus for these past several weeks has been songs that I've known before, and I'm just trying to brush back off. So maybe it makes sense for March would be March 4th. Let's do songs that I've never played before. I've never attempted to play before, and that maybe haven't even ever come up as requests on the Stump the Band game. There are a lot of songs out there. I would be curious to see what special requests might come in. So in addition to your requests for today, you're also welcome, or you can post things afterwards. And I'll try to set up some other posts on the socials so people can respond to this. But make special requests for songs that I might never have done to do throughout the month of March. And we will see how that goes. So March 4th theme as we wrap up. So that's coming up soon as we're wrapping up now the Leap Back In series here for February. I appreciate that I'm not leaning into the March holiday in the same way I ignored the February holiday. Yeah, well, you know. Let's see. Sunny Days from Sesame Street. Oh, hey, okay. I think that's the. I think I'm going to take that as the Stump the Band request for today. That is an excellent idea. I think I have tried to play this at some point, but I don't know that it's ever. It may have even been on the. Maybe even been on the Coltrane Tuesday show because I've been doing this for a bit. I think that is the chord progression. If I were to do I think it's definitely that 1-4-5 progression. That as much. Let's see. I should maybe I'll start with how I'm going to sing it. Da, 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 da. Let's go a little lower. Da, 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 da. What was that? Figures. Would notice that. That is a G sharp. Great. All right. No, it's not. So I thought that was the chord progression, but maybe not. Sunny day. Okay. Sunny days, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell there's a seventh there? Can you? No. Can you? flat. Great. Sunny day, clouds away, on my way to where the air is sweet. Can you dance? How do we like that? Air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? I think there is a second verse, and there might even be a bridge. Huh. Let's see what the comments are saying. Look up "Sonny Came Home" for a few small repairs by Sean Coleman. I did Rubber Ducky. Yes. I don't believe I've done Sunny Days Inside My Brain. Yes, absolutely. The Sonny Came Home, a few small repairs by Sean Coleman. Yes, so all of these can start fitting into the. I'm pretty sure I've attempted to play Sonny Came Home before. Just pretty widely known. But the idea of doing a Sean Coleman song that I might be unfamiliar with is a good idea for the March 4th series. Yeah, we can all use some sunny days. There's something like, it's a magic carpet ride, da 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 da. Happy neighbors like me, happy neighbors like you, da 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 da. Maybe even a key change. All right, so if I were to try to do the bridge. Okay, let's call that. Let's leave it there. Yeah, Lump by Presidents of the United States of America. Ooh, that would have been a good President's Day tie-in, to do a song by the Presidents of the United States of America. Man, there's so many great band names, but also so many great band names that make sense only in the era before Google, right? It's like, wow, that's great. And also no one will ever be able to find a website for that. And here's the rack. think we have a reasonable facsimile. There were definitely Sesame Street recordings I had as a kid, or that my family had as a kid, on vinyl in a lot of cases. So there are going to be some lyrics made up with this. I think we could all use some sunny days, and there'll be some similarity or approximation to at least a few of the actual lyrics. I watched a lot of the show. In fact, I think I watched a lot more of this show than my kids did. I mean, when I was a kid, not like while my kids were. Anyway. Sunny days, sweeping the clouds away, on my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? So come and play, everything's A-okay. Friendly neighborhood, that's where we meet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? It's a magic carpet ride. All the good things are inside. With happy people like me, happy people like you. Together now, all together now, sunny days, sweeping the clouds away. Got my Neato shoes strapped on my feet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? I'm outside, going on things sublime. Where there's rain or snow, that's not what I need. So can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Muppets there, creatures with fuzzy hair. Most of the time, we never see their feet. So can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame Street? Thank you very much to Margot for that request for Sunny Days, Sesame Street. Just what Margot was looking for on a day like today. That is wonderful. I'm very, very glad to have met that particular need in Margot's life right now. I don't think I had the chords quite right in a couple of areas, but I think it definitely was serviceable. Mark is remarking, Come and play. Everything's A-okay. Friendly neighbors there. That's where we meet. Yes. Yes. And I was surprised to come up with what I think is actually the second verse. The come and play. Everything's A-okay. Friendly neighbor. Yeah, that's what Mark has there for the second verse. So there you go. There you go. So thanks again to Margot for that request. Thanks to Mark for chiming in with additional information and possible suggestions, ideas for next month's March 4th theme. I'm going to be back with one more of the Leap Back In series for the final Tuesday in February of this year, 1 week from today. And then we'll see where things go from there. In the meantime, thanks again to everyone who's been watching. If you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay, doing any of those things, I'm always super grateful. Thanks for people who have been chatting and responding and doing things online and hitting the like button and the subscribe button and anything else that might indicate to our algorithmic overlords that these are the sorts of things that we would like to see more of. So I'm always grateful for those things. And in the meantime, until next week, my name is Mike. I am Not for Coltrane. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you next time.